I'm not sure if there's really a certain age when it exactly started, but I think like around, I want to say like around 11, I kind of knew like I was different from my friends and stuff. They would always like talk about all these crushes they had on guys, and I don't know, have all these little flirty games that they would play with our male friends and stuff. And I kind of didn't really think that any of the guys were around in my life were that I was that into them. I ended up coming out to my family around, I was about to turn 19, I think, which is a little later than some of my friends came out, I guess. And so I kind of came out to them by bringing home my ex-girlfriend, and what ended up happening is I had gone out with her to the movies and dinner and all that cute date stuff that night, and we came home late, like really late, and she lived 3 hours away, so I felt bad about making her drive home, and so I was just like, you know, why don't you stay? And the next morning when we were getting breakfast and everything, my mom was kind of giving me like weird looks. Like she could totally tell our body language and our communication that we were not just friends, and you know, that something was going on, right? So then later, after she went home and everything, my mom kind of came up to me and was like, so I can see that you guys are more than just friends, like what is going on with that? And I kind of just like laid it out right then, like I want to be more than just friends with this woman, and I am very blessed to have my family be so supportive of me, and it wasn't always necessarily like that, and we all struggled like going through figuring out like how to have these conversations about me being out, and it hasn't been an easy process, and it's still a continuing process, and it's probably still will be a process for the rest of my life, like varying levels of being out and coming out in different places and around different people.
December 27th, 2011 is when I came out to my dad, which was a huge life event for me. I told him, I remember the day very clearly. I had it all planned out. I took him golfing and I bought him lunch just to, you know, ease him up a little bit. And then it was just like, I couldn't tell it. It wouldn't, the words wouldn't come out when, like I wanted to tell him while we were golfing so it could be like, it would just be a casual thing and be no big deal, but it didn't happen. We were on our way home and I was driving and we were about to pull into my house, to my driveway, and I kind of slowed down because the words just wouldn't come out, so I had to give myself more time. I slowed down and then I was like, Dad, and I just spit out, I was like, I'm gay. And his first response was, he put his hand in his face and he's like, oh my God. And all of a sudden, like I could hear my heartbeat, and we pulled in the driveway and we were just like kind of sitting there in silence for a little bit. And then he was just like, what the hell? Like, it hit him in the face so hard. I expected him to be like, you know, I still love you, you're my son. You know, it doesn't matter, like, you're still an amazing person, but it was more so, what are we gonna tell your family? What are you gonna tell your little cousins that look up to you? He, without me asking, he told me, if you ever meet anybody, I don't want you to bring them around me. So after I had told my dad and it didn't go as planned, and he didn't want to meet anybody that I'm with, I immediately got my phone and texted my boyfriend. I was like, abort mission, abort mission. I guess you can't meet my dad tonight, but it didn't matter because, you know, he doesn't have to meet who I'm with, you know, because it's fine the way it is, and I'm in a happy relationship with this amazing guy, and I've met his family, and it's like the greatest thing. And I mean, if my dad doesn't want a part of that, I guess it's his loss.
So my name is Willa Gibbs, and I am bi. And I think the first time I ever thought about the possibility of me not being straight was when me and my mom, we were in the car and we were listening to a radio thing about like something about gay people, or I haven't the faintest idea what it was. But I remember talking with my mom, and she said that it was something about like gay rights, and she said that gay people don't have the same rights as straight people do. And I remember as we were walking out of the car, I'm like, geez, I'm so glad I'm not a lesbian. And then I went, wait a second, am I a lesbian? And I thought about it, and I thought about like, you know, my guy crushes, and I'm like, no, there's no way I'm a lesbian. And I took my mom aside and I told her that I might be a lesbian. And I can't remember what she said, but it wasn't at all what I was expecting. But she was like totally okay with it, and she's like, do you want me to tell your dad? And I said, yeah, but I don't want him to talk to me about it, because I was still kind of trying to figure it out. I remember I went back into my room and I started crying, because like at that time in my life I didn't really talk with my parents. I was kind of worried about my dad's reaction, because he's like really, really strong Christian, Protestant, so I was like kind of worried about that. And I remember sitting in my mom's office, because she has this really nice cushy chair, and I was sitting there and I was reading, and he came up to me and he was holding the Bible, and I was kind of like, oh crap, she told him. And he gave me the Bible and he opened it up, and there was this highlighted in yellow, love everyone, love your neighbor, love people, and it was like a whole paragraph. It was this whole thing about love, and I was kind of like, oh geez, he's okay with it. I was very, very happy. I didn't really think about it all that much. Like whenever I caught myself looking at a girl, I'd look away and look at a guy. And then I remember in my senior prom, I was just having such a great time, and like I really wanted to ask this girl to dance, and I was kind of like, oh, I kind of just broke down and did it, and I danced with her, and that was really fun. And then I remember I came home, and I ended up dancing with a guy and with a girl at the prom, and then I went home, and I kind of went, screw it, I'm bi.
I'm Nicholas Orrin Moore, and I'm a trans man. And I guess kind of my coming out process to myself probably started in high school. I know I kind of did a lot of research. I checked out books from, the school library, because they had like DSMs and, other sexuality books. And then I did a lot of research online. And I was really nervous, because I didn't know what it was, but I knew there was something kind of off. And I came out to my mom in senior year, and one of the first things she says was, "Is that possible?" And she didn't have any idea that there was even this community. She thought, that like transgender or transsexual is meant, a man transitioning to be a woman. But she's come around, and I guess one thing sticks out is I was at orientation, and I had asked her to use male pronouns because, I didn't want to bring that with me into college. I wanted to be out. I wanted to be upfront about being out. And that was the first time she ever introduced me as her son, Nick. And it was just kind of an amazing moment. Like, after that, I knew that, things were going to get better. Yeah, just after coming out, it seems like just everything has gotten better, and, I'm just more comfortable with myself. And that makes me happy.
It's not always easy, and in fact, sometimes it can be really shitty and really hard. And even violent things have happened that are just because I'm lesbian.
Just gotta stay positive. My friends are a good thing, and I'm very thankful for that.
You need to be really patient. People are making the effort. They're trying to help.
It's just weird to think back and go, geez, was I that blind?
If you're having struggles with coming out, it's something that you need to do when you're ready.